I'm Karen and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to brown ground beef in the oven and avoid all those messy splatters that come when you try and do it on your stovetop. And besides that, I'm going to save you a ton of time because while the beef is browning in the oven, you can go prop your feet up and do something that you want to do. So I've already preheated my oven to 400 degrees. Cut one end of the ground chuck off. You can also use ground beef. You can use ground round if you want less fat. But today we're doing ground chuck. So this is 5 pounds of ground chuck. I'm gonna open it up with my handy dandy kitchen scissors. Every kitchen needs kitchen scissors. I'm gonna move my meat over in my tray here. This has been lined with parchment paper because I don't like to clean. And this way I can just throw the parchment paper away and I have a really easy cleanup. So I'm just gonna hunk this meat onto this tray. Doesn't have to be, can be in big hunks because after it cooks some, it's gonna easily break up into the smaller pieces that you want for your ground meat. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. I'm gonna bring another one over. It takes 2 large trays, paper lined, with for 5 pounds of ground chuck. Now you may be thinking, what is she gonna do with 5 pounds of ground meat? Well, when I get through with this and it's cooked, I'm actually going to divide it into 5 portions and put it in the freezer. And that way I can pull out a pound of meat when I'm doing spaghetti or chili or soup, and I don't have to go through the trouble of browning my meat, and I can have dinner ready really fast. Safety tip, after you've handled any raw meat, do wash your hands with soap and water before you touch any surfaces or any other raw food. Okay, so my meat's ready. My oven is preheated and we're ready to put it in the oven. One goes on the top rack and the other one is gonna go on the bottom rack. I'm gonna set my timer for 15 minutes and I'm gonna go do something that I wanna do. Like maybe I'll go watch an episode of Friends on Netflix. Okay, so 15 minutes is up. My timer's going off. So I'm gonna pull my meat out and I'm gonna, if you haven't seen one of these, this is like a hamburger chopper. And so if you're doing any kind of browned meat, this is a great item just for starting the chopping process on your ground meat. I'm gonna just kind of, you can see it's still not quite done. I mean, it's not done, it's not brown. It's still raw in the middle, but I just wanted to kind of mush up that meat a little bit so it'll cook a little bit faster. And then I'm gonna do the second pan. Okay, so I'm gonna set my timer for 15 more minutes and go do something that I wanna do. Okay, so 15 minutes is up again. Our meat is starting to brown, but it's still not quite ready. You can see there's still juice down in the bottom of the pan, but we are gonna give it another mash and chop up with my little meat chopper here. But we want all that juice to be evaporated before we call this meat done. Our second pan, same thing, still got juice in the bottom. But it is starting to brown. Let's see if 15 more minutes will do the trick. Okay, so this is ready to go. Last 15 minutes. This meat is nice and brown. Both are ready to come out. We're gonna take it out and we're gonna let it cool off just a little bit. And then we're gonna really break those chunks up. Now my meat is cooled enough to handle, and so I'm not going to need the meat chopper anymore, but I do want to tell you where to find this. You can get these on Amazon. They're about from $5 to $10, and it's just a really handy tool to have around. This is cool enough. If you notice, I've put on some gloves. So I wanted to tell you, I keep plastic gloves in my kitchen all the time, just because sometimes I just don't want to get my hands greasy and dirty, and I just want to protect my hands. So that's just another little kitchen tip for you. So I'm just going to get in here and kind of work this hamburger out, get it smaller before I put it away and freeze it. And if you notice, my pan is going to be so clean. Once I get this meat out of here, I'm just going to be able to throw that parchment paper away and just have really easy cleanup with my pan. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to spend all my time cleaning up in the kitchen. So you can just see how I'm just getting in there and getting this broken up. And you can see that, yes, there's some grease in this. There's some different things you can do. You could rinse this meat if you wanted to. I personally don't want to do that because I'm going to rinse a lot of flavor down the drain. Got all my meat broken up, and I've combined both pans into one pan because now it's time for me to put it in the freezer for later use. So I'm going to divide it into 5 different Ziploc bags, about 2 scoops per Ziploc. You know it's not going to be a pound when I put it in the because you've lost some moisture. But if you have a recipe that calls for a pound of raw ground meat, this is what you would need to pull out of the freezer to make that recipe. So I'm going to get 5 bags of cooked meat. Is charismatic that time? Okay. Well, I'm not as excited about it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Okay, so we're all done now. My pan is so clean looking. All I did was throw the paper away. All I got to do is run a little soapy water through it, and I'm through cleaning up. No spatters to clean up, no mess in my kitchen. I have 5 bags, all equal, and each bag is equivalent to a recipe that would call for 1 pound of ground chuck. I also noted on here that I wrote with the Sharpie, GB, that's ground beef, 1119. That tells me I'd packed this on November 2019, and I need to use this ground beef in about 3 or 4 months. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen today. If you like my method for browning ground beef in the oven, give us a big thumbs up underneath, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more recipes, tips, and to see our products, go to our website at notimetocook.com. We'll see you next time. Y'all have a great day.